Assalamualaikum everyone. I hope you're doing really well. Today I wanted to start with Rahman, one of the names that we truly never ever get tired of because it's a name that truly connects to our soul and gives us a lot of strength. So coming back into the sessions, I wanted to start with Ya Rahman. I will be doing Ya Rahim separately, but I wanted to just focus on Ya Rahman today because there's so much need of remembering how Allah loves us. We constantly are looking for love in other people. We're constantly looking for Allah's love. He is openly declaring to us, He is Ya Rahman. And the way we know is that He wants us to focus on His love is when He says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The names that He mentions is Rahman and Rahim. So He really wants you and me and everybody and anybody who knows Him to never ever forget Rahman and Rahim. And I've done a few sessions. This is my third one doing on Rahman, and I always feel how much more can I really get out of this name? And it's incredible. Every single time, something new comes, something different hits my soul, and that's what I'm going to share with you, inshallah ta'ala. So, Ya Rahman, the basic understanding of the name is the endless love. I love the word endless because, when we have relationships, somebody dies or somebody moves away, our attention on that person reduces, right? But when we say endless love, it's not based on how old the person is, where they are based, what they look like, or any of that sort. If you speak to them or not speak to them, endless love means there is no end to it. And that's so powerful if we can just seep that into our understanding. Whatever it is that one is going through has nothing to do with the love that is constant from Him. And it's not something based on you pray, you don't pray, you eat, you don't eat. It doesn't matter. He loves you endlessly. Now, when we let that seep in our soul, there is a beautiful strength that comes from within us. I'm going through chaos, but He loves me. I'm not looking my best. I'm having panic attacks. I'm losing people in my life. Things are not going according to plan. He loves me because He says that to you. It's not you saying Allah loves me. No, He is the one reminding you constantly, day in, day out, He loves you. And that's where we have to pick ourselves up. Hang on, He loves me. I'm going to make this work. So that love that He has for us gives us the strength to see another sun shining. Because we can very conveniently go into the darkness of the dunya and forget His love. But He is constantly telling us, I am Ya Rahman. So focus on me, not as what you need or what you're trying to be, but focus on me as the source, the channel, the everything of love that is just pouring over you. You might be in a storm, love is pouring over you. You could be, doing all sorts of things. His love is still with you. His love never leaves you. It's so powerful. It's just kind of like a cocoon is around you, and He's got you inside this cocoon. Ya Rahim, mercy that pours forth freely and fully, reaching all beings and all things without exception. I won't go into Rahim too much today, but this is just the basic understanding that this is a mercy that Allah pours on us, which is free and it fully reaches every being. Very important to understand that He doesn't forgive a sin or He doesn't choose which sin to forgive. When you ask for repentance, He forgives. That's it. That is our faith. That is our understanding. That is how strong we need to be to never say, this is happening to me because He's punishing me. He's not punishing you. He's teaching you through a test how to come closer to Him. But we cannot say he's punishing me because I did something wrong. If you have repented, it is our faith to know that he forgives. He will forgive, no, not like in future. He forgives in this moment when your repentance is genuinely from your heart. It is you or people around you who have attachments to forgiveness and they say, oh, I will forgive you when you do this. I haven't forgiven you, but I will maybe forgive you. Like they have a choice to forgive you. Allah is Rahim, which means he forgives. There's no will in him. There's no trying to forgive. There's no like, I'll think about if I should forgive HUMNA or not. You repent and you say, I won't do this again. He forgives, right? And that's Rahim for you in this moment. Now, the two names are the two names that Allah knew we as humans needed. So the two names our soul never gets tired of hearing, Ya Rahman and Ya Rahim. Why I speak about the soul is because the mind just forgets. The soul that is inside all of us, our light, which is connected to Allah, basically that soul's food is love and is mercy. Because when the mind says, I've done something wrong, I've done something wrong, I've done something wrong, the mind, the soul absorbs that energy, I've done something wrong. But the soul inside truly knows that Allah will forgive. So we have to remember Rahim from the inside, from our soul, and constantly feed ourselves. No, hang on. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I acknowledge it. I understand why I did it. But there's no not forgiveness from Allah. And that really feeds, that eases our soul. Alhamdulillah. It is his love and his mercy the heart, mind, and soul craves for, because he created us like that. The need to be loved and forgiven by him is above all of any desires that can satisfy a human being. One of the things that we separate ourselves from Allah and being his love is when we say we're not good enough or we're not worthy of his forgiveness. What we're doing is we're saying to Allah that your forgiveness is not bigger than the sin that I have committed. So you are holding yourself, meaning your mind says to you, I made such a bad mistake, he's never going to forgive me. So what you're doing is you're becoming God to yourself. You don't even have to go look out for an idol. You don't have to go worship somebody else or follow anybody else. You become a slave and a worshipper of your own ego. And that is where we have to completely crash our ego and say, hang on, yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I understand. I might not be most lovable in this moment. But yet again, Allah says he's Rahman and he's Rahim. So even though I have committed this sin, even though I have done something wrong, my Allah will forgive me. He is forgiving, and that's all there is to remember. That's how Allah created us. You can go ask for forgiveness of people, they might or they might not forgive you. You can ask forgiveness of your own self, you might or you might not be able to forgive yourself or love yourself. Whereas Allah loves and forgives. That's it. And that's something that we have to reinforce constantly in ourselves, because we live in a society and we brainwashed to think that punishment is the only way to make you a better human being. Allah does not punish you. He tests you so that you can pass through that test, get closer to him. The only desire a soul has is to be loved and forgiven by Allah. And that's all that feeds the soul. That's the need of your soul. The human part of us that's temporary needs to be reminded constantly of it being of value, being accepted with all the flaws and mistakes. Body that symbolizes the mind constantly needs validation from the outside and the inside to be in a space where it's love for all that is. Allah's names help us remember Allah's kindness that he has for us, meaning his creation. When you think about your body, when you think about your soul, the soul comes with a knowing. So inside the soul, there's a system set which says, I'm loved. unforgiven, right? The mind, the body constantly needs validation. Am I looking good? Let me just go ask my friend. Let me send a selfie to somebody to see how pretty I look. Because you're not, the body needs that validation. It is programmed like that. So when you understand this is soul, this is your body. Your body always needs somebody to see it, to value it, to understand why these people not understanding what I'm saying, why they are not visible, why not? That's the need of your body. And the soul on the other side actually knows I am valued by Allah. What more value can I have? Right? It's that kind of thing. So we have to understand that the soul is programmed a certain way where it is born with a knowing, whereas the body, poor body, it's dunya, it needs somebody to water you, it needs you to be looking good, it needs you to fit into a society, the body needs these things, right? The validation. And the body always, the mind always wants, why can't they accept me for who I am? Why am I not being heard? Why am I not being seen? Why am I not being valued? The body, the mind needs that. It's programmed like that. When we understand the soul and we understand the body and their needs, we can manage better and in balancing the two, right? Through this beautiful name, Allah makes us feel loved for all that we are. For now, we can see His love, and we're not, even when we are not lovable. One of the saddest things human beings have in themselves is they feel they're not loved. And it's so internally disbalancing somebody. And this only has happened because of some kind of experience you had in your past. And what that did was left a scar somewhere in your body, and you carry that energy inside of you, right? Now, when we reach that inside part of us, we have to go and put a little seed saying, yes, maybe my mother could not hear me, see me, value me, but Allah does. Maybe my brother said this, it's okay, but Allah sees me, loves me, values me, cares me, right? So we have to, every time a person rejects you, we have to go and plant in ourselves. It's a very conscious decision to say, hey, ek second, who's Rahman, who's Rahim? Not this person, not myself, he is. So let me just go and plant Rahman and Rahim on that part of me. And that automatically will remind you that you are lovable. You are lovable because you exist. It's as simple as that. There's no logic or no super science behind that. Does Allah love me? Why would He create you if He didn't love you? The only reason you exist is that it's His love. Even when you feel you are not lovable, He will love you because He says, I am Rahman, I am Rahim. Even when you aren't able to forgive yourself, He will still forgive you because He is Rahman and He is Rahim. He doesn't judge us for our color, clothes, gender, nationality. He created every single human being as He chose for them to be. And through His creation, He tells us that you are my love. It is you for whom the universe, the stars, the moon were created, the skies and the earth were created, and the butterfly, the lions, the elephant, every single thing was created for you. So you and I could remember Allah through them. If that's not a sign of His never-ending love, then surely we are. You see, you can move your eyes anywhere, even right now in this moment. You look at a tree. Would a tree exist in your reality if you didn't want it? No, it exists though. What is the tree doing in your physical reality if it was not from Allah? So that tree exists because Allah wants you to see that tree and remember that through that tree, He's giving you whatever the carbon dioxide, I'm not great at science, but whatever the tree is releasing, the color, the form, it's through that tree Allah is speaking to me and you. It's through the elephant and the way he moves, Allah is speaking to me and you. It's through the fly that you kill, is Allah speaking to you. It's through the fruits that you have on your table that Allah is speaking to you. If He didn't love you, He would not even care to speak to you. But if He's speaking through the sun, through the moon, through the wind, through the air, through your breath, through your heartbeat, if He's speaking to you, all of this is speaking to you, the whole existence around you, then you're always in connection with Allah, who is Rahman and who is loving and who is always with you, right? So how can we feel Allah doesn't love us or I'm not worthy of love or not lovable for Him when He's saying to us, I'm sending you a love letter through the elephant. I'm sending you a love letter through the pelicans. I'm sending you a love letter through fire. I'm sending you a love letter through rain. All of these are like ayats, right? Ayats are things that remind us of Allah. That what reminds you of your love is a little letter, a reminder that comes like a message to you. So everything around you is a message from Allah. Now that is His love to you. The floor you stand on, the feeling you have of the floor when your foot goes on it, the way you go to the toilet, the way the toaster works, the way everything around you in your reality works. Could it work if Allah did not want it? Could your hands move if Allah didn't want it? Just your body movement, just the way you stand up, you sit down, you're able to do these things. This is Him being Rahman. Otherwise, He would have given you a tight bracket here and you couldn't even move your elbow and you'd be like stuck like this. And then you could go around. But He knew that you had to move your hand so you are able to do things easily and remember Him through this elbow, through this movement. And it's through all of these things when you become conscious, it's called God consciousness, we automatically recognize that Allah speaks to us through everything and anything. And it is so powerful, and then you don't feel very lost. He wants us to never ever forget who our Creator is. And for that reason, He created all of the creation. You see, the whole agenda behind this whole dunya was not so that you could be in comfort. It was so that you look at all this dunya and be reminded of where you came from. The trees, the birds, the air, the life, the beauty, the whatever, the magic, the waterfalls, the mountains, everything is all there in Jannat where you actually are from. So that's your main home. Now you come down here to experience, to watch through the gallery of Allah, to say, oh, what a beautiful piece this is. Amazing artist. What an amazing sculpture this is. Amazing artist. You don't hold on to the statue and say, oh, this statue is really good. No, you always say, what an amazing artist. And so that's all Allah wants you to do. See the statue, see the plants, see the animals, see the whole kingdom of this universe and be reminded of Him. The whole concept of this whole dunya is so that you can be reminded of Him. Nothing else is, this is all temporary, all a drama. All this drama was for you to connect to Him and remember Him. So through each creation, you are able to see the magnificence. You see, He could have just made one animal and that could have been pigeons, just because I see pigeons outside my window right now. So that's it. No other animal. No fish, no bird, other bird than pigeon, no insects, nothing. Just one animal, and that would be pigeons. That's it. Now, how much will you really learn from a pigeon? A certain message, a certain like free flying, floating kind of energy, okay. But what does the elephant teach you? Strength, grace, right? What does the lion teach you? Courage, never give up. What does the whale teach you? To flow, to sing, whatever the message comes to you for whatever animal, right? So Allah could have chosen to just give us pigeons. But what did He do? He gave us all of these animals, all of this dunya, all of the plants, all of the flowers, all the moon, the sun, the sky, the earth, the grass, or whatever. Right? Why? He could just have made it one. It was pretty easy, right? Who did He create all of this for? If you were so unlovable, why would He want you to come home to Him? Every creature was created, every creation was created so that you could learn Allah's magnificence through that animal, through that plant, through that flower. The way the lotus opens, the way the tree grows from a seed to the fruit, the journey of a tree, how the flower blossoms, how the wind blows, how the ocean moves. Sometimes it's really calm, sometimes it's really stormy, hurricanes, even the positive and the negative things that happen in nature. Everything makes us feel like, oh my God, He's able to do this. He's able to do that. He's able to make a water that is so calm in the ocean become a humongous storm that can wipe off towns. He's able to do that. Why would He tell you all this? Because He wants you to get to know Him through all of this. It's so incredible, right? He didn't create something and hide it. This is beautiful. He didn't create something and hide it. Everything is open. Everything is for everyone. For all to have and for all to see. Everything is available and visible for everything is for everyone. Right? That is His love. This is so beautiful. If you just focus on this one sentence, He didn't create something and then hide it. He didn't hide the moon from you. He didn't hide the sun rays from you. He didn't hide the chirping of the birds from you. Like He could mute the birds and you couldn't hear, right? He didn't hide anything from anyone. He left all these lessons for you and me to be reflecting on them, to learn from them, to get closer to Allah. He didn't hide nothing from anybody. He gave it in a full open platter. This is dunya. All of this is so that you remember me and you continue doing your worship through these things that you see. Right? He didn't say the Pakistanis won't be able to see the sky, or the Moroccans won't be able to see the fish swim, or the British, can't have access to the mountains. He did not divide us in countries, or, a white person cannot see a snail moving. A brown person cannot see a whale swimming. He didn't do any of that. He opened His whole dunya, His whole gallery for all of us to learn from about Him. He didn't hide anything based on our silly, stupid passports or our families. I come from a poor family, so I can only do this much. I can't go to this place because only the rich people, classy people who wear nice clothes can. He didn't discriminate anything that He created for you and me. He created that for you and for me so that we can all experience it and be remembering of Him. He gave everyone everything and made it clear, open, and visible. Every single creation of Allah is open, it's clear, and it is visible. What does it say about Rahman? Rahman gives his love openly to everybody. You take it, you don't take it, that's your problem. You can sit in a farm of butterflies and say, oh, they're so fluttering, they're really annoying, oh, I'm so scared, oh, I don't want to see this. Or you could say, God, look at the wings. Oh, look at how they fly. Oh, they're coming and sitting on me, they think I'm a flower. It's totally up to us how we see things, right? And so He gave everyone everything and made it clear, open, and visible. Clear meaning You don't have to like go like this to see a lion. A lion, when it's visible, it is so bloody clear. You don't have to like worry about the sun's gonna get up in the morning or not come to rise. Like you can see it, right? You can all see it. A flower, it's not hidden, it's very clear. When it's blooming, it's like, oh my god, it is blooming. It's not hidden under, let me just bloom under the covers and then I'll get up. No, he's made everything clear and visible. Visible means he's not shy of his creation. He's not shy of what he's created in you and me. He said, be visible, be yourself, be authentic. How I created you, that is the love I've put in you. If you're going to hide who you are, pretend and lie and act like other people, wear masks and be pleasing to them and be their slave, then don't complain. Then don't complain, because that's not how I created you. I created you to do that, what you are doing, with joy, with love, with compassion. I didn't ask you to live in a situation where you were feeling unworthy. He didn't do that. It's very visible. His love is very clear, it's very open, and it is visible for all and everyone to enjoy and connect to his creation, but able to remember Allah's love. Ya Rahman is such a deep yet vast name. So what it does is, Ya Rahman goes inside your soul, right? He holds you from the inside. And then it is so vast at the same time that wherever you look, he expands your vision. Everything is me. Everything I have created for you. So not only that your soul within you is a sign of his love, it is everything, everything. So it is a deep name that pulls you in your core, in your backbone, and makes you stand up straight, because that soul belongs to him. So you go, oh, I belong to him. I'm going to stand up straight and be proud of my journey of who I am, because that's what he's written. And at everything around me, suddenly the vastness, hang on, he's given me all of this. I'm going to be very happy, open, clear about it. It's very visible. This is who I am. Why should I hide my life? Why should I hide myself? Why should I lie about who I am? So he teaches you through Rahman that he is all this. So what are you going to do? You are his creation. Are you clear about who you are? Are you open about who you are? Are you visible to yourself? Leave people. Are you visible to yourself? That's what Rahman is teaching us. Rahman, Ya Rahman is such a deep, yes, vast name that it can't truly be explained with words. It's a name that calls for us to stop and connect to our breath every time we say it, and allow his name to flow in our breath, in every heartbeat, in every single cell of our body and being. So notice how in the beginning of the talk, we spoke about all that is around us, and now he's taking you inside yourself, your heartbeat, your breath, your eye movement, your hair, everything, your body, every single cell in your being is his working, is his creation. And I love at this point when we say, okay, hang on, every cell in my body, every artery in my body, every thought that I have, and every heartbeat and every breath wouldn't happen if it wasn't for him, then the name Ya Rab comes to mind, because if he is the one who has created all these cells in me, if he's the one who's created the vision of my eyes, if he's the one who created my skin, my hearing, my seeing, my talking, my tasting, the taste buds, the teeth, if he's the one who's created it, then he says, I will take care of it. He's Rab who creates and takes care of it. That is his being Rahman, that he's telling you, all of you belong to me. So don't worry about it too much. Just be kind, loving towards yourself. Be open to hearing you. Be clear in whose creation you are, and understand that you are visible to me for you need to start being visible for yourself also. It is then maybe, just maybe, start making sense, the love of Allah. So Allah is so beyond our comprehension that just the fact Allah called himself Ya Rahman is an act of his love towards us, for it helps us to focus on this name and know that we can't grasp the whole of it. But whatever we can is his love for us to even allow us to have that tiny understanding of what Ya Rahman could be. So he could not give us Ya Rahman. Just the fact that he's saying to us, hang on, I'm going to tell you who I am, so you never forget. And he says, I am Ya Rahman, the one who speaks through all that is around you, the one who speaks to you through all that is within you. Just the fact that he tells us he is Rahman, that's his love. Because if we didn't have this, if we didn't have the connection with Ya Rahman, I could be very lost. The world ditches me, or somebody leaves me, rejects me, abandons me, my mother didn't give me the love I need, or the ex-husband or my child or anybody. Suddenly I would crash down and have nothing to hold me. His love, his being Rahman, his just giving me I am Rahman, holds me to pull myself back up to say, okay, you reject me, good luck to you. But I am the love of Allah. You abandon me, no problem. I am the love of Allah because I exist. You automatically have that push from the inside of his Rahman that is inside your cells that say, hang on, let the world reject you, I'm going to get you back up. Okay, and when you reject your inside part, he's going to show you the signs and all that is outside. So you say, I want to be like the lion. So he's never left you. From the inside also he's Rahman, from the outside also he's Rahman. So inside and outside, when you connect the two, and you say, okay, Rahman is the cells that work inside my body, the jazz that happens inside my body, and that what is happening outside. When that is also Rahman, this is also Rahman. If he's the one loving me 24/7, even longer than that, beyond time and space, then really, does anybody else's love matter to me or not? And that suddenly, that desire, that attention that you want from people just vanishes and fades, and you come into a place where you say, hang on, I'm held from inside by Rahman, I'm held by outside by Rahman. So automatically, who do I belong to? Who is my master? Who is the one I'm going to get sunlight from? Rahman. Who is the one who's going to provide me food? Ya Rahman. Who is the one who's going to give my heartbeat the next beat? Ya Rahman. So automatically, your love is not dependent on the people. You don't go towards people to love you. You don't even go towards yourself to love you. You go towards the source of all that is for his love to come to you, which is, by the way, overflowing endlessly, right? Ya Rahman connected to the space of creation in the womb that holds the seed of love and light and nourishes it, becomes of service to its Lord. You see, the reason you exist is not because you were a random creation. You were created inside the womb, and you are a seed of love. So you are kind of like a little tiny seed that Allah put in this universe, in this whole womb that we talk about. You are the seed of love and light. And Allah has placed you in this womb so that you are able to stand up against all the darkness of the dunya and be of service to your Allah. In the darkness, you see inside the womb, when you think about the womb, it's going to be very dark, right? In the darkness, so imagine this whole dunya is very dark. Like symbolically, see if you can connect it together. In the darkness, in stillness, the light and growth occurs. You see, when it's dark in the womb, can you imagine if you had a tube light inside when you were having your baby and everything was visible and you could just constantly see the growth of your baby, like, oh, now this is happening, oh, that is happening, right? You get too addicted to the process of creation. So what Allah does is he puts the baby in this dark womb, which is this dunya, for example, and inside darkness, two things happen. Light, your soul is protected inside your mother's womb, like it's taken care of. The ruh comes into your being, into her stomach, and that's where the growth happens. So that when you are ready to come out, to face, to be ready to be of service to Allah, you will automatically be pushed out without any permission needed from anybody, right? So when you are going to be ready, you will be released from wherever it is that you are, because when you are inside the womb, nothing seems to be happening. That is the love of God. That is you being protected. That is Him putting you in the dark so that your light can be saved, protected, and be guided, so that when it comes out, it's like, and the world stops, right? And growth till your body is fully ready in all forms, the fingers, the hands, the heartbeat, every system in your body is ready. Till that happens, he can't push you out into the world. You see, the baby cannot come out into the world for its next phase because it's not ready. And then if it does, then it's disabled, right? So we have to understand that if ever in our life we feel like we are in this dunya that holds us and we're not able to move forward, that is the love of Allah, because it is in the darkness. He's protecting your light. He's taking care of your soul. And along with that, he's helping you grow to a place where your mind, your body, your understanding is enough that you know what you will need and you will be of service to your Lord. Because that's your reason of existing, to be of service to Him. It is to remind us that no matter how dark the space, no matter how small the space, you will grow. Light within you is from Him and can never be diminished unless He wills, and growth that will never be affected unless He wills. You see, the two things we have to understand, that inside the womb, what happens? Your soul is protected by Allah and your growth occurs. Now, no amount of space that can stop your growth, because you know how like a woman's womb is like she's really, well exercised kind of thing, then her stomach is really small, but yet the baby, when it's expanding, it slowly expands. So even if the uterus is really small, like this much, when the baby starts expanding, the womb starts expanding also. That's His love. That's His love for the baby and for the mother. You see, we have to understand, and in that space, the light has to be in balance with the body. That's when the baby comes out. When the body is holding the light inside the room and it is both ready to merge out, nobody can stop it unless Allah wills it. The growth of your body is in His hands. The growth of your soul is in His hands. That's what He told us by placing the seed of light inside the womb of a woman. What makes you think He who is in charge of your body, He who is in charge of your soul, who nourishes and nurtures it in the darkest of the darkest places, in the stillness, won't take care of you when you are in the world? Every time you feel low, anxiety, any kind of space where you're like, I don't know what to do, just imagine yourself being in the womb. If in that space you were able to grow and He was able to give you that growth, He was able to protect your light, then what makes us think that He won't do that when we are in this world, in this big, massive womb? He calls Himself Rahman, for He alone knows how much He feels love towards His creation. To call Himself the love that is endless reminds us that no matter how our love is towards Him, His love towards us is endless. No limitation, no boundaries, no begging, no chasing, and no beginning and no end. He loved us when He created us. He loves us when we enter this physical realm. He loves us when we return back to Him. So He loves us. Why else would He create you and me? He tells us about his love for us through this name, this one very huge name. And that also reflects something about his creator, about him and us. You see, every time we think about Allah, we connect to Allah, we see him, we see ourselves as something that he wants us to see. So if he's the one telling me I am lovable, what am I doing towards me? Am I loving myself enough to make Allah happy with me? The creation is of so much value to Allah that he chooses to love them endlessly. You see, Allah chooses to value you and me. But the question is not Allah choosing me. Am I choosing myself? Am I protecting myself? Am I loving myself? Am I even allowing myself to be loved by the Creator? I'm not worth loving. I've committed so many sins. I don't think Allah will love me. I don't pray, will Allah love me? I don't do hijab, will Allah love me? It is my limited thinking, right? That if I didn't do this, I'm not worthy of his love. He's not saying that. It's me doubting his love. His creation is of so much value to Allah that he chooses to love them endlessly. We, the creations, are always and forever. So through Rahman, he's telling us that his love is endless. What does that truly mean? It means that we are always and forever and endlessly in a space needing his endless love. He's saying, I'm endless love. What does that mean for me? Because I'm always in need of the endless love. That's why he's telling me, don't worry, Humna. Whatever it is that you need is me. All you need is me. If he's saying, I am this, meaning I am not that. If he is Rahman, meaning I don't have that kind of love around me, and I will always be craving for his love. So we, the creations, are always forever and endlessly in a space of needing his love, his endless love, because no amount of love from anywhere or anyone can satisfy the love of Allah for his creation. You see, the reason he tells us about him being Rahman is so that we can understand our weakness and our need. So that we can desperately go to him and say, you know what? Nobody's love is satisfying me. You're the only one who can and who will. So can you please like love me? And he said, I am always loving you. It was you who was not opening the door for me. And you're like, it's his love that he tells us that he has endless love for us so that we don't get attached to any idol for that love. So we get attached to our children, we get attached to the spouse, we get attached to our parents, we get attached to our friends, we get attached to whatever. He's saying, I am the only love that is endless, number one. Number two, he's saying that I am the only one who's going to satisfy you, right? Then he's saying that why is he saying these two things? Is because so that you don't go around like a beggar asking other people to love you, so that you can feel love within them yourself. It is his so that you don't attach to other people. He doesn't want you to be begging people to love you, by the way. I hope that's very clear. It is his love that he so clearly lets us know that nothing and no one can love us the way he does. So that we don't get distracted by the worldly relationships and start depending on them, rather keep our focus alone on loving him, because that's what he wants us to do. So that was the fourth point. The fifth point is, it is his love that helps us not want to do things and take actions in our life that will be displeasing to him, and that makes us deeply God conscious, and we are aware that he is all watching, all hearing, all seeing, all knowing. So we need to live a life, take actions that are not hurtful to ourselves and others in any way, for every single being is his creation. So first he tells you, my love is endless. Secondly, he tells you that you will always be in need of this love. Thirdly, he tells you so that you don't get attached to any other person or family being. Fourth, he tells you, the reason he tells you he's Rahman is so that you understand that you have the begging or the weak human character, personality that will get distracted by other people's love. So try to hold yourself, understand that my love is the only one that you need. When that happens, we understand that he's the one giving me all this love. What am I going to do with all this love? What am I like? Okay, I'm getting love. I am loved. Okay, great. He's Rahman, fabulous. I'm lovable, fabulous. What do I do with this love? It is this love that helps you to not do anything wrong. You want to be loved by Allah, right? So you won't do anything that displeases Him. And that includes abuse on yourself and on others. That means you become very God conscious and you say, Allah loves me because He wants me to be that who loves all others and myself included. So you will be very cautious of the actions that you take, of how you behave in this world. As we become God conscious, this is the sixth point. As you become God conscious, we know that our return is back to Him. We become very aware that we have to go back to Allah. Yes, He is giving us all this love. Yes, He's talking through all of this. But what is He telling you through being Rahman? You belong to me, right? And you will return to me. And so automatically you start focusing on your akhir. So your dunya becomes good. You start treating people right. Also, your focus becomes on your akhir. Last point, what Rahman does. It is his love that pulls us back to him, and he tests us so that he can remove the love of anything and anyone from our heart. So it can just be him and his love alone. So we can do what he created us for, which is to remember him, worship him, and recognize and prioritize him above all. You see, the reason he is telling you, for example, Afshin, you are my love, right? So all your Afshin's attention suddenly goes towards Allah. Allah's the one providing, Allah's the one protecting, Allah's the one healing, Allah's the one guiding. All of this becomes Allah, right? Automatically, Afshin will not only prosper in this lifetime, but she will also prosper in her akhirah. Because her source is not her children who give her love. Her source of peace and love is Allah. So she's not looking for anything down below here. She's looking for everything up here. When she's looking up to Allah, automatically He pours in even further. When He pours you with love, when you truly recognize He's Rahman, He's Rahim, He will pour love in you, and all the other loves in your reality will be pulled backwards. They will be removed from you so that you are able to focus on Rahman. You are able to recognize this is his favor upon you and me. Is when we call him as Ya Rahman, we are saying to him, I recognize you as the source of all love, and that automatically removes all the idols, removes all the attachments, removes all the distractions, removes all the people and everything around you that takes you away from Allah. And it is so painful when you truly recognize Ar-Rahman. You will lose friendships. You will go into the darkness. You will actually repel people, and people will not understand you because you no more need anything from them. And people, dunya, loves to keep you as a slave. You break your chains because Rahman's love, there is no other love above that love. You have to understand the power of this name is that everything else just shatters. When we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim without the understanding of Rahman or Rahim or the whole phase of it, it's fine. It's just Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It's not having that deeper effect on your soul. It's just bodily. You know, as a habit, you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim before you start something. When you acknowledge, hang on, Rahman is the love that is the ultimate love, your whole perception, your whole vision becomes that love, the love that is around you will be removed by him. You're not going to do anything. But it is when he is removing all of this gunk from your life, the pain that rises in you is the test to see, do you really want that love? Or are you just, trying to act cool with Allah? Because you can't act cool with Allah. Allah knows your intention. And he will pull you towards him. And once the journey starts of Ya Rahman, showing you his love, only the people who truly love you, like him, by him, for him, will remain. The rest, Rahman will remove from your realm. That is what he does. To conclude, he helps us value ourselves by valuing us. Tells us about the need to want to be loved. One thing he tells us, value yourself, HUMNA, value yourself, Wasima, value you because I value you. Then he tells us, number 2, about the need, which tells us, HUMNA, you are very weak. You will always be in need of my love. So ask me for my love. He puts me in my right place. I am weak and I want to be loved. And I want to be loved by the one who is all loving, who is Rahman, right? When I ask for his love, he will only keep those in my life who love me for the sake of him. Number 3, reminds us to not be attached to anyone, anything other than him. Helps us to keep our focus on him. You see, we constantly keep attaching ourselves to the roles we play. We're not here to play the role alone. We are here to see why we're playing that role, and through that role, how can we connect to Allah. So our focus remains like this. Just because I'm a mother doesn't mean I don't serve Allah and become a slave to my child's desires. I have to say, no, I'm going to pray first and then deal with you. I'm only going to go do that first, what I need to for Allah, and you come after. It is a habit you have to build in yourself to be loyal to your love. Your love is beyond your child. The love you feel for your child, your love you feel for your spouse, your dog, your whoever friends, needs to be always after Allah's love. And when Rahman comes, he automatically will do it for you. But it's important that you do it and focus on him. Makes us God conscious, so that when we become God conscious, we not only make things better in this world, but also in our akhirah. It is his love that actually helps us become better here and then there. Never wants us to forget. He never ever wants us to forget. He is the one we belong to. Last one, he purifies our hearts so that we can work on meeting with him. You see, the goal of every name, the goal of every messenger, the goal of every book that Allah gave us is nothing but for you to be prepared for that meeting. You see, that meeting with Allah needs to be way bigger than anything you have ever done. And when that meeting becomes your priority, all the rest of the things will come into place. Because he wants you and I to have Qalbun Salim. That's what the Prophet asked for. Qalbun Salim. The most purified, the most beautiful heart there is. And if you and I can work towards achieving that point, that's our goal. And that heart, that is Qalbun Salim, can you imagine the amount of Ya Rahman's love? That's all there is in that love, in that heart. So in the heart, there will be nothing, just him. Just the 7 things again. There are 7 things that constantly kept coming. Value who you are, accept who you are, remember who your creator is, Follow his book and his messenger. Know he is with you at all times. You will get what you give. So do good so that you can receive good. This is all Ar-Rahman. That's what he is telling you, what you need to do to be filled with love in your heart. So to have Qalbun Salim, what is it that you need to do? These are the 7 points that will gift you a heart that will be Qalbun Salim, the most loved heart by Allah. Please write this down and read it slowly. Value who you are. Number 1. Value who you are. Number 2. Accept who you are. Stop judging yourself. I'm good, I'm bad, I'm blue, I'm black, I'm white, I'm grey, I'm yellow, I'm pink. Accept who you are. Number 3, remember who your creator is. When you accept you, automatically you say, I'm so weak. I can't do nothing without him. So thank God I have a creator. So remember who your creator is. Number 4, to have Qalbun Salim, you need to follow his book and messenger, which means be reminded of Allah through his book and through his messenger. Do good. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Follow his book is the 4th one. Book and messenger. Number 5. Know he is with you at all times. This is so important. And I'm glad it is on number 5, which was a coincidence. You know the 5 prayers that we have? Remember, the salah, the prayer, the sajda helps you connect to Allah. That's number 5. Know that he is with you at all times. And that is connected to praying 5 times. Because every time you pray, you're like, Allah's with me, Allah's with me, Allah's with me. You make a sajda, Allah's with me. I'm praying, Allah's with me. The word can go wherever it needs to, Allah is with me. You will get what you give. So do good and receive good. Stop worrying about other people doing good or bad to you. You focus on doing good. Regardless of what others do to you, you choose goodness, right? Whatever it is that you're going to give the world, you're going to be receiving from the world. So just give good and know that the good is going to come your way. This was number 6. Number 7, last one, and this is really important. Keep your heart filled with positivity and always think good of your Allah. These are the 7 things that if you do it diligently, consciously, committing to it, keep your heart filled with positivity also means surround yourself with people who pull you up, who don't make you feel unworthy in yourself. Fill your heart with positivity. You cannot sit in people holding daggers and feel safe and be positive. If somebody around you is killing you, is hurting you, is abusing you, you can't sit there thinking, oh, I'm gonna be fine. No, it's okay. No. Your surrounding matters, right? You will only be able to be scared, fearful. Don't be in spaces which make you feel unworthy and low. Choose your friends who help you be positive. And always think good of Allah. Always. To live life with Rahman will never let you get off the path, for he will lead you back to him again and again and again. For he is the only one and only one who can love you, value you, accept you as you are, with all your flaws, all your sins, all your mistakes, and anything else you feel is not lovable in you. For that, what you find not lovable in you, only because he put that in you. He wouldn't put it if he didn't think that too was lovable about you. So for example, you have something inside you, a sin, or a fault or a mistake or an addiction that makes you feel I can't be loved by Allah, right? The reason you have that part of you that says, oh, Hamna, you're not worthy of being loved. That sin that you committed, that fault that you have, that way that you feel that you're not lovable, that thing was also put by Allah. So that He could tell you that even though you've committed this major sin in your life, you have this big addiction in your life, even with that, He put that in you. So that through that, He can tell you that even with that anger problem you have, even with that weakness that you have, I can love you. Allah will love you. So it is He who's placed that feeling in you that this part of me is unlovable. So that He can tell you with even when you have this thing that is unlovable in you, I always love you. When you walk the earth with Rahman by your side, it asks you to be that towards yourself and others. You see, He's talking about endless love to you. When He is giving that to you, what is He asking you to do that towards yourself and others? He is giving you endless love because He wants you to give yourself the endless love and all others. Be loving to all, for everything is from Him, for Him, and will return to Him. So always send out love to all you know and all you don't know. For we don't know who is in need of love, and through us, they might receive love in ways they need it the most. Prayer is a form of sending love, raising your own vibration and of those on the planet. So send a prayer to all in this moment and see the way Ya Rahman brings you endless love in the most miraculous and unexpected ways, inshallah. For He is who loves you, guides you, heals you, holds you. For He is who you belong to, and to inshallah, Him you will return. So when you absorb Ya Rahman in you, you realize that love that He's saying that I love endlessly, you and me. That's what He's saying to you and me. He's saying to you and me, number one, I'm lovable. Number two, He values me. He sees me. And when He's giving me that, He's pouring His love inside my vessel. What does He want me to do with this love that He's pouring in? Pour that love to myself. Love myself the way Allah loves me. And love others, for they are all Allah's people. Even those who did really super bad to you, betrayed you, cheated you, did harm, whatever it is that they did, they were following the commands of. And the reason that your mother didn't love you, or your father didn't love you, or your whatever didn't love you, was because Allah didn't want them for you to have the love through them, so He could give it to you directly. So when you don't get it from your mother or father or whoever else, you will turn to Him. And when you turn to Him, His love is not based on a relationship you have with. He's not your mother, He's not your father, right? He's Allah. So He's going to pour love endlessly. So you'll be able to give love to people who have done bad to you because now you have an endless flow of Ya Rahman. It is so soothing because those people who hurt you, they actually need Ya Rahman, and you are able to deliver through your vessel, through your jug, love in them. Because you have the endless fountain in you. I really hope that it brought you so close to Ya Rahman and help you in whatever way it did. And if it did, do let me know. And Now we'll start our exercise. I know it takes me a long time to deliver all these, but it's not like something I can stop in the middle, so I apologize for the time. But I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and I will now start the session.